Hey, this is Pastor Dave, and this is your Monday Mojo. Hope you had a great weekend. So, what you're looking at is my Christmas tree. And yes, it's January 5th. And yes, I know that, some people would say, you got to have that Christmas tree down by now. But as you can see, we don't. And that got me thinking about rules, right? When I was a kid growing up, my mom used to say to me, if you're going to eat in front of someone, you know how to finish that sentence? Always make sure you have enough to share. I haven't heard that one in a long time. If you're a gentleman, you don't wear your hat inside. You don't wear white after Labor Day. There's all these rules. Take down your Christmas trees and lights the day after Christmas, or at least before the New Year's, right? And so life was regimented. In some ways, I'm glad that we're not as hard on each other as we used to be with a lot of the rules, right? It makes life a little easier to live. And then in other ways, it's a little tricky. Last year I was called to be on jury duty, and we were called in for a traffic violation that could have become a felony because the person drove through a construction zone. And when we went back for deliberation, we heard the presentations by both attorneys. When we went back to deliberation, I was kind of like, well, this is pretty cut and dry. This person drove through a construction zone where there were cones and flashing lights and a police car for their convenience. And I thought, well, this is pretty cut and dry, right? But as I sat there in that room with the people, there was a lot of, well, but if it were my child doing that, or if it were me, and I began to think, there's also construction workers' lives who were put in danger. So then it gets tricky, right? Because, those rules are there for a reason, and yet this group, I think, I would have had a hard time being a voice of saying, wait a minute, the law was broken. I don't know. It's tricky, right? Rules are rules for a reason, and yet at the same time, sometimes we need to take a look at what's going on. The interesting thing is that Jesus once said, do not think that I have come to abolish the law. That's strange because I hear a lot of people saying that the law no longer applies. But Jesus said, do not think that I've come to abolish it, but actually to fulfill it, to live up to every bit of its expectations. So it seems as though Jesus was saying that there's a good reason for the law, but I think he also understands that we don't always live up to it. He knows that. We know that. And he came to do that so that we might have the right standing that he has with God of never having broken the law, broken the rules. Jesus, I don't know, maybe he wore white after Labor Day. Anyway, I think we have to be real careful with each other when it comes to the rules and the regulations. I think we have to use our discernment when it comes to laws that are there to protect people. I think we also need to understand that we have a Savior who came to fulfill all of the law's requirements so that we might have his right standing with God. Just think about that for a moment. His right standing with God. Anyway, those are my thoughts as I look at my tree that's still up on January 5th, and I don't know when it's coming down. Have yourself a great week.